Kia ora guys, welcome back to the Black Jersey. It's your boy Max hosting this channel, and the All Blacks' final test of 2021 against France in Paris was probably one of the most disappointing tests I have ever seen the All Blacks play. It really hurt to see the Irish kick those last 3 penalties last week to win that game, but what hurt more is the French just utterly dominating us in this test. They won by 40-25, and we never held the lead at any stage of the game. The biggest conclusion I can take away is once again that I was right about Ian Foster. It was clear to me that he was out of his depth as the All Blacks coach from the minute he made Sam Cane his captain in 2020. And if I'm being totally honest, guys, sorry to be bleak and sorry to give you a lack of hope, but I don't believe we've got a chance of winning the World Cup in 2023 at all if we keep this current coaching staff going. I've got some paper for my notes of this test. Hopefully this way I'm going to look at the camera a wee bit more, unlike last week. So the test begins in the first minute, of course. George Bridge hammered at the kickoff. We really struggled retaining the possession, and Aaron Smith kicked the ball away and didn't even find touch. The French run the ball in but didn't release to Ardie Savea, and so Mo'unga kicks the ball away. France make it back into our 22 before losing the ball. Jordie Barrett only makes 5 metres when he kicks to touch as well. It was clear from this moment the French were here to win, and they were here to just smash us, and in the 3rd minute, Piato Malvaka, who is their 3rd choice hooker, scored off the first line-out of the game. This was his 4th try in his 9th test, and Jaminet, the fullback, converts to make the scoreline 0-7 for France. It was quite weird to me that Romain Ntamack wasn't kicking, but hey, this new fella they've got, he's a great kicker, so I'm not going to dispute what they've got going on right now. In the 5th minute, Dane Coles' offload to Will Jordan gets us past the French 10-metre line. Villiers, the left wing, he enters the breakdown incorrectly, and Jordie Barrett chooses to take the 3. So that means the scoreline is 3-7 after Barrett kicks the penalty. Ntamack kicks off in the 6th minute. Aaron Smith immediately kicks for touch after a single ruck, and France overthrow their line out on halfway, so Savea ends up breaking the line after collecting the ball. While we have advantage, I'm not sure why we had that advantage, and Jordie Barrett takes another 3 after our advantage ends to make the scoreline 6-7. I'm full of a bit more hope by this point, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is probably going to be a really tight test, but that wasn't to be, even though in the 11th minute, Romain Ntamack made a very stupid kick, and Bridge clears it after taking the mark, but fails to find touch. We fails to find touch far too much, as we did last week, and Villiers, the left wing, runs back into our 10-metre line. France run the ball in the forwards before Damien Penaud makes a clean break in the 13th minute. Mo'unga manages to tackle Penaud and the breakdown's formed. The pass then goes to Romain Ntamack. Mo'unga does miss this tackle on Ntamack though, and as does Jordie Barrett, which allows Ntamack to step in to score his first try of the game, and as only I may add, Jaminet converts though, even though it's Ntamack's try, and the scoreline is 6-14. We are down by 8 points after only 15 minutes. Will Jordan's second clean break brings us into the French 22 metres. Rieko Ioane manages to get 5 metres in front of the try line, but Jordie Barrett makes a terrible pass out wide to George Bridge. Bridge does manage to recover and power towards the line, but the ball comes out off a French defender. In the 17th minute though, the ref incorrectly awards the lineouts to France, and Whitelock is penalised for infringing the lineout. Jaminet kicks for touch. There was a lot of lineouts, there was a lot of kicking wars through this game. The casual observer may have found the first half very boring to watch because there wasn't really too much scoring. In the 19th minute, Jonathan Dante, the 12, smashes Brodie Retallick after the lineout, and he really gets the French going forward, this big man. Ntamack attempts a drop goal, which falls short, and so Jordie Barrett manages to kick the ball out for touch. The kicking war starts in the 20th minute, and it ends with Jordie Barrett cross-kicking to George Bridge. Bridge knocks the ball on, though, while he is being tackled by Damien Penaud, and France get the first scrum of the game after 20 minutes. In the 23rd minute, another kicking war starts after the scrum, and this one ends with Jordie Barrett kicking the ball out on the full, and I found, this test to be really disappointing for Jordie Barrett after all the good things he's done this year. I think the All Blacks just looked exhausted, if I'm being honest. Joe Moody in the 25th minute, he collects the ball off the front of the French lineout. Jelonch, though, Anthony Jelonch, he gets over to win the turnover, and Jaminet takes the three from 47 metres to make the scoreline 6-17 for France. In the 27th minute, Jordie Barrett knocks the ball on during a breakdown. Penaud then breaks the line for France. Jaminet gets very close to scoring. Try-saving tackle by Rieko Ioane on this occasion. Rieko did look very dangerous from 13 throughout the game. It's just a pain that a lot of the other All Blacks were playing like they didn't even want to be there. Rieko was just on fire this time. In the 29th minute, another kicking war ends with Mo'unga marking the ball. He kicks to touch after doing so, and the All Blacks really can't get much going after this. Laulala knocks on, and this leads to France picking up the ball. Ntamack makes a clean break, and France get 5 metres in front of our line. Paul Willemse is luckily held up. However, Piato Malvaca gets a double off the French lineout after Savia fails to hold him up. Jaminet converts to make the scoreline 6-24, and by this moment I'm like, you know what, we're screwed. We've got no chance of winning. These French guys, they look like winning. They are just so there to play, these French guys. Goodness me, sorry about my hay fever, guys. Anyway, in the 38th minute, the All Blacks take 5 minutes, yes, 5 minutes, to reach the French 22-metre line. Weenie Atonio, who was born in Timaru, New Zealand, is penalised for being offside. Whitelock wants a line-out. Dane Coles is tackled high after the line-out, and this leads to Coles knocking the ball on while he's over the try line. And France then just reset the scrum 3 times before kicking the ball to touch to end the half. Half-time score 6-24. It was just embarrassing almost, this half-time score, and I was really worried about the second half, and I was hoping the French weren't going to reach 50 points. I was feeling utterly demoralised by this point. The All Blacks did come out firing in the second half. Laulala gets the turnover off the kickoff. Mo'unga kicks to catch to get us a line out 5 metres in front of the French line. Our line out is utterly destroyed though. Jelonch gets over the ball to win his second turnover. The French got so many turnovers and we just basically couldn't get any. Oh, goodness me, so frustrating, guys. France kicked to touch for a line out at halfway. Retallick is penalised at the line out. Jaminet fails to find touch. Jordie Barrett sends the ball downfield, and after another line-out in the 47th minute, the All Blacks take their time running down the field. Quinn Tupaia does get incredibly close to scoring before Aaron Smith gets a great pass off to Jordie Barrett, who gets our first try at last. 47 minutes, goodness me. Moody and Laulala come off for Boa and for Tu'ungafasi, and Coles comes off for Taukei'aho. Samisoni Taukei'aho, I thought, made excellent impact off the bench, and this guy, I believe, is ready to be a key decision maker for the All Blacks, even though at the start of this year he was uncapped. Taukei'aho's got a very good rugby IQ, and he was probably one of the few highlights about the All Blacks in this game. Jordie Barrett misses his conversion after he scores his try, so our scoreline is 11-24. Perhaps not as embarrassing, but still a 13-point losing margin at this time. In the 49th minute, Malvaca is penalised for a blatant offside. He's entering the breakdown from the side. Jordie Barrett's kick gets us into the French half. Francois Cros wins the turnover after our line-out though. Excellent counter-rucking luckily in the 50th minute by Sam Whitelock. Aaron Smith goes wide to Quinn Tupaia, who gives the second pass to Rieko Ioane. Rieko makes 2 clean breaks and runs about 70 metres to score his try. David Havili comes on for Will Jordan. I'm not sure what the coaches were thinking of that, because Will Jordan at halftime had made the most metres in the game. Jordan had to have come off for an HIA, which he failed or something. I've got no idea why you would sub off Will Jordan in such a crucial game of the season. Jordie Barrett moved to 14 so Havili could play fullback. Quinn Tupaia and Rieko Ioane play the full 80 in the midfield. Barrett converts the Rieko Ioane try to make the scoreline 18-24. I'm thinking, you know what, actually, we can win this game, and I had some hope at this point. I was thinking the All Blacks were going to make one of their greatest comebacks of all time, but it just didn't eventuate. 54th minute, France run 9 phases before Brodie Retallick is penalised again. France try to fight Tupaia and Akira Ioane before it's broken up, and Jaminet takes the 3 from 27 metres to make the scoreline 18-27. France are getting back in the lead again. Demba Bamba is penalised for an offside in 56 minutes. The All Blacks' advantage ends with us having a line out close to the French 22 metres. Cameron Woki attempts to get the turnover after Taukei'aho and Savia run us 5 metres away from the French try line. Woki is penalised for incorrect technique, and the All Blacks take the 5 metre line out, which is smashed again. Our line out got ripped to pieces as soon as we started the driving maul. Taukei'aho and Savia, though, they do run us back to the try line, and Savia dots the ball down to score our last try of the game in the 59th minute. Brad Weber comes on for Aaron Smith, and Shannon Frizzell comes on for Akira Ioane, who really had a game to forget, if I'm being totally honest. Barrett converts Savia's try to make the scoreline 25-27. We're just 2 points away, but the All Blacks just do not have the mental toughness to win the game. 63rd minute, we go wide, get into the French 22 metre line. Jordie Barrett chip kicks. Rieko Ioane is beaten to the ball by Romain Ntamack, and he evades the tackles of Jordie Barrett and Richie Mo'unga. Goodness me, if France scored a try off this here, it was probably going to be try of the year worthy. So Ntamack gets the ball away to Villiers, then to Anton Dupont. After a breakdown, Brodie Retallick makes a try-saving tackle on Cameron Woki. Ardie Savia is then yellow-carded for giving away too many penalties. Jaminet takes the 3 to make the scoreline 30-25. The All Blacks don't score any points from here on. Sam Whitelock comes off at the 65th minute for Tupavai, who wins the line out immediately. We run for about 30 metres before Havili is successfully used, yes I know, as a crash ball runner. Taukei'aho tries to run a bit too far though, and this forces Mo'unga to run sideways. Mo'unga concedes the turnover to Romain Taufifenua. 67th minute, France win their line out in the 10 metre line. Sam Cane wins his only turnover of the game, and my goodness, Sam Cane, time to retire. I didn't even remember he was on the pitch until the 40th minute when I saw him at a scrum. Apart from this turnover here, he was basically anonymous. I don't know why he played the full 80 when you've got Ardie Savia to use at 7, you know? It was so confusing to me. Papali'i was obviously just too sore from last week to play this time. Frizzell passes off to David Havili after Sam Cane's turnover, and Havili tries to go wide to Quinn Tupaia with a no-look pass. Damien Penaud intercepts Havili's pass to score. You don't ever want to throw a no-look pass in your own half. I've got no idea why Havili did that. And Jaminet converts Penaud's try to make the scoreline 25-37. The rest of the game's pretty much just filled with dumb kicks, and the All Blacks fail to basically even get out of our own 22 metre line. Shannon Frizzell does get us over the 50 metre line about 77 minutes, but it's all too late from there. France get that last turnover to seal the game's result. Damien McKenzie comes on from Mo'unga, gets carried over the try line, carried backwards rather, too many times, and we just looked like an absolute mess. The All Blacks looked sloppy, they got out-muscled, they got out-thought, they got out-paced, and our boys just looked flat out on their feet. They looked exhausted, and hopefully the Irish are just as exhausted as this when they play us in the mid-year test next year. I said so many times before we started the 2021 season that playing against the Springboks and the Northern Hemisphere nations that are classed as Tier 1 nations were going to be what determined how good of a coach Fozzie actually was. Australia aren't a threat. Argentina aren't a threat. They're just pretending to be Tier 1 nations at this point. Nations like Ireland and France know what they're doing. They've been coached properly. They know how to actually defend. And the All Blacks got caught out badly. It was clear to me that our boys had done no homework on the French. They had not done any analysis whatsoever, whereas the French were able to read us like a book because they have been coached properly and they're using their rugby IQ properly. Ian Foster, he is out of his depth as head coach. We will not win the World Cup in 2 years if he stays on. We will barely even win against any Northern Hemisphere nations if he stays on. Thank goodness we did not play England this year. They beat South Africa today. I'm finishing the 2021 season very frustrated with my national team, with my country. Because what's the point in having the best talent pool in the world? This country, we have the best players in the world, and yet we just got ripped to pieces. France absolutely deserved to win. It was clear that they were the team who was performing better from the kickoff when they smashed Bridge past the 22-metre line. There are many All Blacks who I believe should never play a test again. Look, why isn't Leicester Fainga'a-Anuku there? Why wasn't Paddy Parkinson called up this year, even though he is injured right now? Why are Brodie Retallick, TJ Perenara, Dane Cole, Sam Cane still playing? You can't just run on the old boys club on their last legs, especially against a youthful, flary, passionate French team like this one. Antoine Dupont, their captain, who will win World Player of the Year, is 25 years old, and yet Sam Cane's out there, not even being captain because he's been out injured, just looking like he's stuffed. Yeah, this is probably the grumpiest I've been in the video. Sorry if it's a bit much for you guys. I'm probably going to end the video here. It's such a sad day. Congratulations to the French. They utterly outplayed us. I'll be back on Instagram on the 18th of January. If you're ever keen to see some bonus content, make sure to go to the Patreon. Me and the brother Vincent, who helps out with the Instagram page, we're developing a website for the Black Jersey for next year, so go to the description and visit the mailing list to let you know when the website's ready. I'm also present on Discord. If you ever want to yarn with the group, head to the Discord server. And yeah, that'll be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and watch the next video. I'll talk to you again later. See you guys.